in the chat. Oh, predictions. It's prediction time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets for who you believe is going to be our champion this week. Is it going to be Cure or Spirit, the Korean Terran, or the European Terran? Up to you. Up to you to decide. As a reminder, it's a best of 5, not a best of 3. I'm hoping we get a full series out of this, but here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player, the red Terran representing Na'Vi. It is Spirit. Again, both players have taken down some big names in the road to these finals. Spirit took down a hero to get here. He took down Lambo. Took down Ubu Thermal as well. The GOAT himself. Spirit already proving himself in the TvT matchup. But so has Cure. Interesting. Going to be an economic opener out of Spirit. This time we'll pay attention to the openers. This time it's going to be a single gas opener by Spirit going for a faster expansion, a faster natural base. Meanwhile, Cure going for a double gas opener into a faster factory. Bit of a safer opener here by Cure. Safer / more aggressive. Meanwhile, Spirit going for something more economic. Here we go. Cure even going for an SCV scout. Interesting. SCV scouts are usually something that we avoid, especially with the Korean Terran players. They usually do avoid SCV scouting, but Cure playing it safe. Does zip in, does pull back, does confirm the opener. Will attempt to disrupt it. Spirit is known for his greed, so he's going to be able to drill away at the SCV for a moment before pulling away, as the Reaper is about to pop out. And Cure ideally wants to avoid that Reaper. So he does manage to get away. Behind this, there's that faster factory for Cure. And this could lead into Reactor to Reaper Hellion, could lead into a Cyclone drop, could lead into an earlier Widow Mine. We shall see. This Reaper has arrived. Cure does shoot first. SV goes down. Cure is forced back for now. Again, he's up against a Marine and a Reaper. Cannot quite contest against that. Does pull back. Hellion production underway, and we're getting straight into the 1-1-1. CC is on the low ground. It is delayed, but is on the way. Getting into our 1-1-1 setup. Delaying the reactor for a moment for the starport. Reaper zipping in. Up! We're in position. We deny the scout. Cure rotating over towards the left-hand side, but there's a bunker. Are ready for this. Meanwhile, it looks like it is going to be a Cyclone drop opener out of Cure. Cyclones are on the way. Reaper dipping in. Not quite getting an SCV. Good control so far out of Spirit. Does defend. Let's force Cure back. And there it is. A medevac is on the way. The Cyclone drop is on the horizon here for Cure. Meanwhile, interesting Spirit going for a fast second Rax. That I was not expecting. We're rushing to stim. Okay. Really fast stim out of Spirit. Already on the way. This is very unorthodox. This could be a 3-1-1 setup here with a third Rax, I imagine. Yep, there. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry, it's a 2-1-1 setup. Okay. I mean, Spirit did just go for a 2-1-1 against Lambo, and this is kind of like a 2-1-1 variation a little bit here. See how this all comes together. But again, we're building up a very biocentric composition here to move out across the map. Going for a drop towards the right-hand side. Reaper towards the left. The Spirit does have Cyclones in position. The drop does slip in, but Spirit reacts in time. Does force Cure back. At the same time, Cure tries to find a way in. Ooh, bleeds out a Reaper. So far, very nice defense out of Spirit. He doesn't just deflect against the aggression, he also hides his build. He also keeps his build hidden as we're going for the add-on swap into medevacs. Ooh, here he does dip in. Does get eyes on the add-on swap. Spots the additional marine production, does not quite get eyes on the tech lab researching. But he also saw the lack of tech lab on the factory, which is a tell. Is a tell. Kira getting into his own tank production. Ravens. Third TC on the way. Spirit's third, a little bit more delayed here at the natural. It's going to be a little bit more later here compared to Kira's. But we're soon moving out. Here we go. Stim is done. Stim is now done. Medevacs are out, and we're going for the drop. Now moving out with 14 Marines. Moving out across the map. Meanwhile, Kira, what do we have to defend? We have a tank in position at the natural. We have Ravens in the main. Cyclone as well. I feel like if we hit the natural base, we should be okay. Bearing in mind that Kira has vanilla Marines, no upgrades, no stim. Spirit rotating around. Okay, we're going to be unloading. Pushing into this natural could be effective. We're going to take a tank shot to the face. We could try to focus it down. And this is still just building up. Combat shield's about to finish. Which will help us survive tank shots. The problem here is that if Spirit tries to stim forward, we can throw down auto turrets. Like, if Cure reacts in time, we can throw down auto turrets and defend. Likewise, now have a second tank. Third CC is done. Getting into the swap bio. Stim is now on the way for Cure. Spirit going to be the first to land his third, as he's going for a vanilla base. As in Cure, he waited for the orbital. And Cure is going to expose himself as he expands. Spirit has an opportunity here if he... I mean, he doesn't quite see this. There we go. Spirit does spot the third. Is reinforcing. And that means that this army is a little bit more exposed. Most of the Marines are kept hidden. Tanks have arrived. Stim is seconds away for Cure. Cure does have interference matrix with that Raven as well. Does go for the scan. Cure doesn't commit. Sorry, Spirit doesn't commit. Cure gets across the map. Takes down a couple of workers. Delays the mining here at the third base. Does delay mining. Spirit getting his fourth on location is spotted as well. I mean, there's still a lot of potential with this army, but now Stim is completed for Cure. Curie's catching up. With all these upgrades, Curie's catching up. He's been very defensive. Spirit, it looks like he was hoping to catch the army, like catch a drop or catch a move out. And Spirit could have been successful there, but Cure's just been playing very safe. So any kind of advantage, any kind of timing that Spirit was going for, it feels like he's missed it. For the most part. I say for the most part because we could threaten a Doom Drop into the main. Speaking of, let's go. Spirit fans out some Marines, go for the Doom Drop. There is a turret in position and a Cyclone, but we could boost past this. We can boost past this. Head straight for the main base. It's a risky maneuver here from Spirit. It's just a risky play here, and I mean, it can win him the game, 100%. He's waiting for a move out. Spirit, he has a spotted Marine, and Kira's moving out.
Mineral field.
And the army is spotted. Scans ahead of time. The Zelnaga does confirm the move out, and now we're going for it. We're going for the kill. We're going for the drop, but it looks like the turret is finishing up just in time. Kira pulls back. He pulls back home. Spirit going straight for the main. Does cast a Cyclone, tank is sieged up, we go for the dive. Can we focus it down? We can. The tank falls. Oh, the tanks are disabled. We're trying to take control of the main base. The main is going to be going down. At the same time, Cure drops across the map. That's a kill in the CC. That's a kill in the base. We'll disable the medevacs. Cure, the choke point is brutal. Cure cannot push in. Spirit barely holding on, catches more of these tanks. Two more tanks going down. A very nice trade here for Spirit. Kills 19 SCVs, 2 tanks, mass Marine. Caught some Ravens as well. And Spirit takes a lead. Whew, this drop was worth it. Spirit even escaping with a handful of units, going for a massive push right through the center. Again, it was so risky for him to build up that army, but he just waited for the moment. The Cure did move out. He scans ahead of time. Cure is ready at least a third. Spirit does have the army supply lead and the economic lead. Gonna be reinforcing. We could go for another drop, but there are Marines in position. Drop into the main, it's not gonna work, not the same. Spirit going for a secondary push here. Mainly tank, does catch the army. Oh, medevac gets picked up. Cure rotating around, which may create an opening for the other drop on the right hand side. There's a siege. Spirit stimming 40 scans at a time. There's nothing here. We were denying the drop into the main, but we head towards the third base. SCV is under fire. And we can go for the kill. That's a kill in the CC. Cure knocked down to one base. The main isn't done. We have one base left. Ay, ay, ay. And now we're committed. We're going for a massive counterattack. Cure needs to get damage done. Goes to the base. Tanks, they siege up in time. Did you catch some tanks, though? Not bad. 3 tanks go down. The medevacs. It's 1 medevac escapes. Not even. We shut this down. Spirit maintains his lead. It's all about the positional play. Again, the entire game, it's just been Spirit just looking for the army, waiting for Cure to be out of position, then just going for the kill. Time and time again. Just punishing Cure from forever moving out. Here we go. It's going to be one last hurrah here for Cure. There's just too much fire. We dive on the army. Tanks are going down. Good stutter stepping here by Spirit. And he will clean this up. GG. Spirit takes game 1. No GG. No GG, Poppy. Oh my god. That feels like I'm not a Terran player, but that feels like a frustrating play style to play against. As Kira, he's apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry I missed the GG. He's apologizing in the chat. Kira, so wholesome. But GG, well played. Again, just Spirit just having so much map awareness there, and just he was just waiting for the correct moment, for the ideal moment every time for when to push in and just commit to a doom drop. And again, it's so risky because imagine if Cure had Marines in position, right? Imagine if he had something to deny that drop either time. Then suddenly maybe Spirit loses everything, and that's game. GG, well played. Will the VODs of this match be available on YouTube or on here later? The VOD is already on YouTube. We're streaming both on Twitch and YouTube. We're streaming on both platforms. So if you go to our YouTube channel and if you go under the live tab, the VOD is right there. It's right there on YouTube. It's right there, man. So you can see all the games that were played. It's also on Twitch as well. Also on Twitch. But there is a live stream VOD on YouTube available as we speak. You can even just rewind. It's a nice feature on YouTube. All good, all good. Oh, catching up. Spirit was playing so well in that game. He was playing very well. I mean, I should also emphasize it wasn't just the doom dropping that Spirit was doing and the counterattacking that Spirit was doing, but even in the lead up to that, if you remember, Spirit, he was denying the drop play of Cure, he was denying the Reapers of Cure, he was being very active, and he was fixated on gaining map control as well with his earlier 2-on-1 opener. So yeah, really interesting playstyle there out of Spirit. Not very orthodox, not really normal. That's not very normal, but to do well with it. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, down in this series, looking to bounce back here and now to tie things up. This is still a best of 5, still plenty of games ahead of us. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Na'Vi, leading the series 1-0. It is Spirit. Let's go. Looking good today. How have the games been going? They've been going well. This is the grand finals. Welcome if you're just tuning in. Welcome to the grand finals of the KungFu Cup. Has been a wild event. We were able to follow some Thermal games earlier, leading into Spirits. We got to catch Lambo. Lambo was playing like a beast earlier as well. We had a crazy semifinals between Lambo and Spirit, and now we're here, settling into the grand finals. Even here in this TvT, I know that mirror matchups are not the most exciting of matchups. I can definitely admit that, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been good. Game 1 was a wild game here from Spirit, and we'll see how Cure does adjust. Once again, double gas opener out of Cure. This time, Spirit also embracing the double gas as well. And I don't blame him. Site Delta is known for being a very safe map, so a lot of players do go for Rax Expands. Because of that, we have a lot of Terran players go for proxies on Site Delta to punish a more economic opener. So because of like how the meta has unfolded, because it's a safe map, it also means proxies are more common. Because proxies are more common, you have to open up safely, and we get double gas openers instead. So very safe opener this time at the Spirits, likewise from Cure. Now we're settling on in. Also, I'm sure that Spirit is aware that Cure is willing to proxy, and after taking a lead in the series, he's maybe a little bit paranoid. As you can see him check the third base location, and does scout here towards the left-hand side as well. So Spirit just making sure that there is no cheese, there is no proxy. And are we poised to go for a proxy starport? It looks like we are. Okay. Spirit once again spicing things up. The SCV is hidden. We do have the factory done, and I believe the starport should be on the way. There it is. Starport is now in production. Now this could be one of two things. The more common thing is reactored Hellion into a Hellion drop into the main, or it could be reactored Hellion into a Liberator to go into the main base instead. I'm leaning more towards a drop to just, load up the Hellions and drop into the main base and go for economic damage, but we'll see. We'll see what Spirit does embrace. Meanwhile, Cure, behind this, just getting into his 1-1-1. Interesting. He is not going Reaper Hellion. He starts off with a couple of Reapers and Hellions, but does stop Hellion production going into a Widowmine. This should be Widowmine into Cyclone, into a Medevac drop. There's a Medevac drop, there's that Cyclone that we did mention. This is a very common, very safe opener. The reason why it's safe is because you lack Hellions to be active on the map, you lack Reapers to be active on the map, but you have the Widowmine. Just to, secure the ramp. We have the safety Cyclone as well. And then you can turn this defense into an offense with the drop. Now, what I'm worried about is if this army moves out as Spirit moves in. That's what I'm worried about. Because the Medevac is about to pop into the main. Likewise, Spirit getting ready for his Hellion drop. Cure's moving out. Okay, Cure does move out with his drop, but he leaves the Cyclone back at home, thankfully. Cyclone is at home to defend. The Hellions are going straight for the mineral line. Cyclone does respond. A couple of SCVs going to be going down. We get 2 SCVs so far. 2, soon to be 3. We get the hell out of there. 3 SCV kills at the same time. Cure going for his own drop into the main. Is going to hit a little bit later. There are Cyclones at home to defend. Catching 1 extra SCV. 4 SCVs in total. Meanwhile, Cure going for his own counter drop. Widowmine is set up. Up! We do react in time. We do pull back. We do manage to pull back, forcing friendly fire. Not bad. We force a friendly fire of the Widowmine, and the army is forced out of the main. Overall, a bit of a give and take, but I do favor Spirit, as Spirit does take a worker lead. Cure did not manage to get a worker kill. And we got another SCV. Not bad. 5 SCV kills. Right? Yeah, 5 SCV kills. Meanwhile, Spirit only lost a Reaper and the Hellions. Meanwhile, backup Liberator into the main base as the starport is still producing. Liberator's on the way. Likewise, Kira rotates around towards the natural. There's a tank in position. And we don't commit. Kira does back off. We still have the Hellion drop at the natural. Liberator threatening the main. Does pull away. Whew. And now we're gonna be calming things down. We're gonna take a break, take a moment, take a breath. Double starport. This looks like a 2-base all-in. Yeah, we're going for the add-on swap. Okay. This is actually really interesting. You don't see this kind of variation off of a proxy starport, but basically it's double starport, 2-base all-in. We're massing Vikings as we speak, and the goal here is to gain air control and then go for a Liberator to bully the ground as well. And then you just commit. You commit into your all-in. With all these Vikings, we can bully back these Ravens. We can focus them down. Spirit taking the role of the aggressor this time in game number 2. Hellion drop coming back in. We're going to get another SCV and up. Up. Do we get one? We get one, but it looks like the medevac is going to be shut down. Barely does escape. At the same time, drop into the natural. Getting some kind of damage, but we catch the medevac. Yeah, medevac is caught. And the scary thing is because this starport is proxied, like, it's hard to scout, right? It's hard to get a read on what's going on. Some more Vikings are amassing. Well, Spirit is getting a third on location. Never mind. So we're not committing to an all-in, so we're not pulling the boys. We are pushing out nonetheless. The armies will clash. Again, the Raven's going to be a big part of the defense here for Cure, the fight for Cure. And here come the disables. We disable the tanks, we disable the Liberators, and Cure is breaking through. A bust through the main army, getting on top of the tanks, and it will clean everything up. Again, when it came to Spirit's composition, he needed to shut down these Ravens. He needed to stop those disables from happening. Alas, he could not. The disables went off, and Cure is snowballing out of control. He's pushing out across the map towards the natural base. Vikings forced to land. Cure does back off for the time being. Remember, Stim is not done for Cure, so these Marines are having a harder time pushing in. But we get the auto turrets. The final tank does fall. And Cure, he has control of the low ground. He has control of the natural. Tank volley's going up. Additional Vikings have arrived. The Raven finally goes down, but the Raven has paid for itself. Like, at this point, it's done its job. Can a Spirit break out? Boys are being pulled. Oh, the tank falls. It looks like we will eventually clean this up, but it costs us 9 SCVs. More Vikings landing. More boys being pulled into Vikings. You hate to see it. Yeah, the stutter stepping a little bit too good. You're just looking to punish Spirit so hard here. 16 SCVs go down, and he's still just rallying everything across the map. Now it's Stim. Now Stim is researched. And Spirit doing whatever he can to try to stay in this game, but the reality is he's just lost far too much at this point. It's far too many SCVs. Cure on 3 bases, fully saturated. GG gets called, and Cure takes game number 2, tying us up 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Just a very rough fight for Spirit in the center of the map. Again, you could argue that maybe Spirit should have recognized to pull away and not commit, but he went for the dive, you know, he went for the engagement, he did siege up his tanks, and the Liberator and tank were just completely disabled. Kira took the fight that he wanted, and did snowball from there. GG. GG, well played. Again, everything just happened a little bit too quickly there. It all escalated very quickly out of control. And now we're tied up. Now we're headed for game 3. Let's go. Let us go. Looks like game 3 is going to be on Oceanborn as our map of choice. As a reminder, game 3 is on Oceanborn, game 4 is on Amphion. I'm not sure as to game 5. Not sure as to the ace match. But I'm hoping we can get there. I hope so. Alright, gonna be loading in. And who will take a lead in this series? Right now we're tied up 1 apiece. Could still go either way. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Tying the series up 1-1. Looking to take a lead. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran representing Na'Vi. It is Spirit. And it feels like both in Game 1 and in Game 2, Spirit has been like trying to get momentum or trying to dictate the pace of the game. Both games he's just been gaining map control and trying to force Cure to react to him. Unfortunately for Spirit, Cure moved out. He pushed right through the center of the map just as Spirit was getting ready for his own push. And Cure was able to just counter Spirit there. Able to catch him off guard. And it looks like we're once again going to be diverting early on. Cure opening up double gas. Every game so far. Every game in this series, Cure has opened up double gas. Meanwhile, Spirit goes back to Game 1, going for a Rax expand. Single gas opener leads into a faster CC. This tells me that initially Spirit is going to have to be the defender, at least early on, keeping up with the Reaper, Hellion, Cyclone play of Cure. We'll see if he can. As Cure once again going for an SCV scout. Again, you don't see this too often in TvT. I mean, there's a reason why Spirit has not gone for one at all this series. But it pays off. It does pay off. The CC, we have enough money for it. We need the CC, and it is going to be delayed. Marine going down to the low ground. Spirit up to 500 minerals. There we go. CC now thrown down, but it was delayed by a good amount of seconds there. So a nice cheeky start for Cure. And again, every second counts, especially in the early game. Cure trying to get under Spirit's skin. Behind this factory is almost done. Spirit getting into additional marine production. And this is just a really similar dynamic to what we saw in Game 1 as well, where Cure has to back up, has to respect the Reaper Marine of Spirit. Spirit getting into his factory, and we'll see if we go for another fast second Rax. Remember, Game 1, Spirit went for a really fast stim, like he went for a 2-on-1 variation. 2 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport into, you know, stim timing. See what he does this time. The Reapers, they do try to dip into the main, but we're in position. Oh! Punishing Cure. 1 Reaper goes down. And instead, Spirit going for a 1-1-1. Okay. No fast stim, no fast second Rax. Is going for the starport. So more standard play here from Spirit. Meanwhile, Cure still building up his CC. Working towards his own drop. I imagine a Cyclone drop. So for now, the game is kind of in a bit of a lull. We're calming things down here in the early game, but soon drop play is going to be hitting for both players. As medevacs are in production. And Cure is going to be the first across the map. And Spirit should be aware of that. He knows that his starport is later than Cure's, just because of the build of choice. There it is. We got our Cyclone, Hellion, and Reaper zooming across the map. Cure getting straight into tank production thereafter. So we'll have a slight tank lead. Spirit working in his own tag lab for his own tank production as well. Setting up for a Cyclone drop. Marine's in position. Drop does come in. Spirit will respond, takes down the Hellion. Attempts to chase down the medevac as well, but we do manage to get away. Drop is locked down. Spirit still maintains his worker lead because of his more economic start. Spirit getting into Tank Raven. Yeah, just a much more standard composition here. This is the most standard game we've seen so far of Spirit, out of all 3. Some wild aggression in both game 1 and game 2, but now we're calming things down. Building up tanks, ravens. Sable as well. Meanwhile, across the map, Cure is interesting. Getting into not just earlier tanks, which is what we expected, but getting into earlier Viking production. Vikings are on the way. Liberator as well. Cure wants to push. He wants to move out early on. And this early Liberator as well has a lot of potential to break through the defenses of Spirit, as Spirit does not have air control. He doesn't have any Vikings. So a really cheeky start here from Cure, trying to take advantage of that. Spirit has arrived, spots the army. Oh! Avoids the tank shot. Does siege up Spirit, he doesn't know! Yeah, massive volley goes off. Yeah, good start for Cure. Liberator does siege, forcing Spirit back. Takes a couple shots to the face. So a good start for Cure. Softens up the Marines, softens up the tanks. Getting within range of the Cyclone. Another tank shot. And again, you can see these Liberators, like there's just no easy answer. Interference Matrix is researched, and we are banking up 3 Ravens. And these Ravens are going to be crucial in the defense for Spirits. We're going in! We're going for the dive. Vikings do land. We come in from behind. We disable the tanks and the Liberators. But is it enough? But it looks like it barely is. Whew. We do defend. It costs us 10 SCVs. Then drop into the main. No shot at the same time. Drop into the main base. 12 SCVs go down. Suddenly, this is worth it. At the same time, we force a cancel. Not bad. We force a cancel on the CC. Never mind. I mean, we're still getting more damage done. That's going to be 14 SCVs. 15, 16. Late reaction here from Spirits. Ay, ay, ay. 19 SCV kills. That's over a mineral line. Cure takes a 9-worker lead. But what I will say is that the third base from Spirit is done. So, ideally, Spirit would have wanted to take an economic lead with this, but he won't. Instead, this is going to be enough to even things up. So Spirit can catch up with this third CC with Triple Mule. It's not ideal. Again, he wanted to get ahead economically, and he won't. It's going to even up. So Spirit is looking to stabilize. Vikings moving out. I'm feeling a Viking drop into the mineral line once again. Spirit is not ready for this. Yeah, Vikings, they dive in. Straight for the main base. They land. Catching 2 SCVs. We do throw down some auto turrets so we can just walk away. We avoid the auto turrets. It's going to cost a lot of energy here. The Vikings are shut down eventually. At the same time, Cure rotating around, hitting the third. Trying to delay the third base for as long as possible. The tanks, they do siege up. And the Ravens spent a lot of energy earlier on those Vikings. Otherwise, we could disable this. We could completely clean this up. And we're going for the dive. We do have another disable. Auto turret throwing down. It looks like we will break out. Yeah, there's a bit of an overextension here from Cure. Overestimating how much energy that was left on these... Or underestimating how much energy that was left on these Ravens. Spirit even chasing down the tanks. The juggling. The final tank goes down. The pendulum swinging from one player to the other. Liberator into the main. Another Liberator as well to the natural. Spirit does overextend. Leading out a tank. Here we go. Liberators have sieged up. SCVs are going down. Spirit doesn't care. Rotating in. Getting within range. Looking at the units tab again. Spirit, he has 5 tanks to the 2 of Cure. But Cure, he wants to surround. He made the collapse on this army. 15 SCVs going down across the map. Oh my god, the Liberator's still alive in the main. Spirit's economy in shambles. We catch a Lib. Here does catch reinforcements, and he's going for the surround. Spirit catching a tank. Not bad. But this surround, it looks brutal. Ikari collapses on the army. The boys are being pulled. We get a full surround, and every tank is going to fall. And Spirit, he overstays his welcome. Gets completely cleaned up. The medevac falls, and that's everything. The entire army of Spirit just plummeting here. And what does Spirit have left? He had 5 tanks to 2. Now he's on, I think, 1? Yeah, 2 tanks. 2 tanks left. Spirit does lose his tank lead. Oof, catching a Viking as well. And we've been here before. Now, momentum swinging from one player, then the other, then the other. Now it's back in the hands of Cure. The ball is in his court. Rotating around. Spirit now on the back foot. Does have his third base mining. Cure going for a drop into the main. Likewise, so is Spirit. Creeping up. Doesn't quite commit. Double jump into the main base. We get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Spirit not in position. He's going for the main army. Does get the disable. Sorry, does get the anti-armor missile. Catches the tank. Back at home. 8 SCVs going down. Spirit, he's racing back. He turns around. Ay, ay, ay. Turns back around. Main base is compromised here. 12 SCVs going down. Add-ons as well. Here, just pulling Spirit apart. And sure, we do come back home. We do eventually clean this up, but it takes so long. And we don't even as the medevac escapes. The drop gets the hell out of there. Kieran taking a 4th on location. Has his own doom drop. Now, even though Spirit is behind at the moment, he can catch up. He can take a fight. There's a chance out there where maybe he can catch all these medevacs. Catch Cure as he's unloading. There is a chance. Medevac is cleaned up. Doom drop towards the natural. Not much here in position. We're just outside the natural base. We should be able to react in time without losing too much. As the army does siege. Nice disables. The choke point, no! A massive choke point here. The army struggles to push in. Spirit has to lift. And Spirit will clean this up, but it's just too much. 24 SCVs going down. The bio army crumbles. And Curie's going in for the kill. Again, that choke point was brutal. Working so hard against Spirit. And Spirit is pulled apart. The third CC under fire. It's gonna go down. That's a kill on the third. GG gets called and Cure takes the lead. GG. Very scrappy game. It was very back and forth. There were good moments for Spirit, good moments for Cure. It was going back and forth between them. Both players overextending in their own moments as well. And in the end, Cure able to just pull Spirit apart. And the drop play was just becoming a little bit too much. And with that, Cure is now 1 game away from winning the entire tournament and becoming our champion. Spirit, he's up against the wall. I do appreciate that it's been a back and forth and we've had a series. It's not a 3-0 in either direction. I'm hoping for an ace match. The pressure is now on Spirit. Can he do it? Can he bring it back? Are there going to be any more rounds? Oh, this is the finals. This is the grand finals. The final series, man. The final series. The winner walks away with 275 USD. Not bad. Not a bad payout at all. Just under 300 USD. For first place. We are pulling back, and we are getting ready. As yeah, we have to just have some lobby issues. Basically, someone just made a lobby for Oceanborn, and we're like, "Are we ready?" It's like we just played on Oceanborn. It's like, "Oh right." So we're just remaking. All good. So we are remaking. And again, Cure just needs one more win here for Cure to win it all, to take the series, to become our champion. Spirit has to fight back here now to force the ace match. And when it comes to the rest of the broadcast here, we're gonna be live tomorrow. I believe tomorrow we're gonna be going over the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League. Just check our calendar. Yes, tomorrow's gonna be KSL. Day after that's gonna be OC King of the Hill. We have WTL over the weekend. Plenty of StarCraft coming up ahead of us. Plenty of StarCraft. Again, we're live on a daily basis here. Every single day we have some StarCraft going on. Sometimes we're live multiple times a day. Like over the weekend we have like 2 or 3 broadcasts on Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Very intense day of StarCraft. Intense weekend of StarCraft. Here we go. We have our next game. It's going to be on Amphion. Let's go. We have our lobby. We have our players. We have our casters and observers. We're jumping into hopefully not our final game, but could be. Could be. Hello, Zerkberg. Hello. Did Spirit play in the recent Warsaw LAN? He did not. He did not. If you're curious, in the recent LAN in Poland, Spirit was invited to it, but he could not attend because that was this weekend. It was his mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mother Spirit, Mama Spirit. It was Spirit's mom's birthday, so he was with his family, which means he could not attend the LAN in Warsaw. Unfortunately. I mean, you know, it's all good. I'm sure he had a great time spending time with his family. But that's why Spirit wasn't competing this weekend in the House of Galactic Battle. Just as a heads up. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from becoming our champion. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from the land of Poland, representing RV. Down in the series, looking to bounce back in Game 4. Can we force the ace match? It is Spirit. Are you going to be commentating the Diamond tournament on Saturday? I will not. I will not be commentating. I'm going to be adminning. Usually for our amateur events, I'm adminning. I'm like adminning and making sure everything's running smoothly. I believe Kuro is going to be casting Sea Duckling Open instead. Just as a heads up. Again, fun fact, it is a lot more work organizing and hosting amateur tournaments than it is regular tournaments, just because you have to vet all the players, you have to make sure that they play their games, and you know, keep an eye on their like lifelong games as well. You know, make sure it's not a fresh account, gather information for the Wikipedia, so like where they're from, their race, all that stuff. There's a lot more work. So I'm gonna be adminning. As we're selling in, and we have Spirits going for a pseudo proxy. It's 1 Rax back at home, 1 Rax across the map. Now, Cure is going for an economic build. He's going for a Rax expand into a factory. So because the factory is delayed, that means the Hellion is delayed. That means that Spirit can get some damage done. Now, the onus is on Spirit. If Spirit can catch a Reaper, all it takes, if he can catch one of these Reapers, then we can snowball out of control. And we can delay the CC, we can get some SCV damage, even delay the factory. Reapers have arrived, we dive in. And we're going for the Reaper. Big catch. Reaper goes down. SCV as well. Spirit, he's busting in. Bunkers on the way. Force a cancel on the CC already. And Cure's in trouble. He has to pull the boys. Cure, he has to pull the boys. We have 1 Reaper on the high ground. Marine is halfway done. Second SCV goes down. And we're waiting for our next wave of Reapers. Then we go 3rd Reaper and 4th Reaper on the way. Cure, he's up against the wall. We've already done enough damage, but Spirit is looking for more. Up. He's looking for more, gets another SCV and almost another. 3 workers so far. Rotating around, finding another way in. Reaper taking a lot of hits. We trade 1 for 1. We trade out the Reapers. 4 SCV kills, a lot of lost mine time as well. And this has been a successful start. This has been a great start for Spirit. Back at home, he's expanding. Back at home, he's transitioning. Factory's on the way. Spirit doesn't need to kill. Remember, this was not a proxy 2 racks, only a proxy 1 racks. 2 racks opener still. But all we were looking for is a delayed command center, a couple of worker kills. That's all we wanted. And from here, Spirit backs off. And Spirit is ahead. Spirit straight up is ahead. He's hoping to delay the expansion for a little bit longer. He can even land the racks at the natural location. Just to even further delay for now. Just getting high ground vision. Getting a nice scout. Okay, bleeding out a Reaper. Spirit doesn't need to retreat. He has to get the hell out of here. Rax is under fire. Behind this, getting into a Cyclone drop. Reactor Cyclone production. 30 SCVs against the 25 of Cure. So a very nice start. Again, taking advantage of how often Terran players open up economically here on Amphion. It was a risky maneuver. Risky maneuver here by Spirit, but he gambled well. Did gamble well. Behind this, 3rd C. Oh my, we're being so greedy. 3rd CC on the way. Spirit just doubling down. Cutting a lot of corners, but he wants to take a massive... He wants to extend his lead even further. And thankfully for Spirit, Cure is also getting a 3rd. 3rd CC's on the way so Spirit can try to catch up, which means that Spirit is not building up to a 2-base all-in. No 2-base all-in, so Spirit is getting away with this greed, getting away with this 3rd. Cure trying to play catch-up. Drop dips in, up. And does catch a Cyclone. Not bad. Cyclone goes down. We get the hell out of there. Once again, a better trade for Spirit. Cure has been struggling. Has been struggling to keep up. Working towards tanks, working towards Ravens. I mean, this natural base is quite secure, so breaking and defending Terran on 2 bases is going to be difficult. But that's why Spirit, he's just taking a 3rd, teching up. Building up his tanks, building up his Ravens. And from here, Spirit can play it slow until we get into a 4th base. Or, sorry, until we expand and take the 3rd. When Cure exposes himself, then Spirit can try to punish that. So we are going to be calming things down. And again, a very nice start here for Spirit. Getting into double E-base for double upgrades. 3rd base now being landed on location. Cure still on 2 base. Still has yet to expand. Looking at our tanks, we have an even tank count between our players. We have an even Raven count. And Spirit will soon have a massive upgrade lead. And the reason why he can afford this is because he's been ahead economically. Like, he's had more money to work with, so using it here on upgrades. This is kind of Spirit's game to... Not to necessarily lose here, but he's ahead. He's ahead, and it's on Cure to bounce back. On Cure to bounce back here. Now, because it's a TvT, we can outposition, we can go for drop play. We've even seen already in this series where if we have eyes on the army, and if the army moves out, they go in for a big backstab, a big doom drop even. You can out-control your opponents with the Ravens, with the spells. Cure definitely has a chance. As Cure is pushing out, bearing in mind that these 1-1 upgrades are not going to be a factor in this fight. They're still on the way. Spirit moving out as well. Takes down the Hellion. Then our Cyclone jump across the map. Not going to get much done. Gets 2 SCVs and not much else. And we stim in. We go for the mass disable. 2 tanks disabled. Order hearts being thrown down as well. And it looks like Spirit, he will barely break through. It's going to be close. We're running out of Marines. It looks like he does, and he's being forced back. The disables run out. And Spirit is in trouble. He's out of tank. Again, Spirit barely didn't have enough to break through. What's scary about what just happened is that Cure retains all of his tanks. Tanks did survive. Again, Cure, he was able to throw down his auto charge just in time. And Cure, he survives the first push. Survives the first wave. Spirit taking a 4th. Just mass expanding. Still has map control. Does have that map control here. As Cure did actually keep a Raven alive. He killed the 3 of his opponents. Not bad. Okay, the tanks 1 for 1. We see a double drop here on the right hand side. Double drop moving out on the left. We do have some turrets in position. Some turrets in the main. Cure is going to try to find a way in. Can always boost past. Meanwhile, Spirit moves out. Uh-oh. No! As he might come across the Medivacs! Dust him in. Cure does react in time, does pull back. Thankfully. And is going for his drop. Does unload. Catching reinforcements. Not bad. Marine's going to be going down. Spirit does turn around, coming back home. Not a bad start for Cure. At the same time, his main army pushing right through the center. Spirit, his army is out in the open. We'll see if we can catch the army or hit wherever the army isn't. Double drop coming back in. Spirit, he's hunting. He's trying to hunt down this double drop, but he doesn't find it. Not yet. Okay, we sim on in. We catch a Rax. Spirit's main army is spotted. Cure responds. Spirit actually pushing towards the left. Knocking down these rocks, and he could actually drop into the main. We are leaving some Marines in position. We could find an opening. Could find an opening here. As the game is calming down. Cyclone catching some SCVs. Scans revealing the main army. Spirit is making his way towards that main base. This Cyclone is still finding some SCVs as well. Being so annoying. An army is spotted. Spirit, is this the way to go about this? Does get a tank. But I'm not too convinced. Yeah, at the same time, looks like this was distracted. We go for the double drop here on the right hand side. Spirit going for the mineral line. His main army is being forced back, but he does find 7 SCVs. And he keeps going. Does tonight mining time. Cure having a hard time keeping up. Since he has to leave army back at home. Double drop turning back around. Going for the tanks. Tanks did on siege. And just in time. On siege, Cure being forced to back off as well. Whew. And a very tense moment. Spirit still has the better economy overall. He may have let out some SCVs, but does have a 10 worker lead. Spirit still maintaining a tank lead as well. Both players are on 2-2. Drop into the natural, catching more SCVs. Very nice play here from Spirit, distracting the main army, going for the tanks! Yeah, tanks are left exposed. And do we get on top of them in time? We got one. Oh, not sure that was worth it. Yeah, one tank goes down, second tank as well. Spirit has the high ground. But he only has tanks left. Curie can go for the land. He can and he will. Yeah, the Vikings do land. We clean up the tanks. Oh my god, massive loss here for Spirit. Every tank goes down. And now Cure has momentum. Look at the army sizes here. Cure has a massive Viking lead. Spirit has tanks though. Let's have all the tanks. Cure rotating around. Knocking down those rocks. Spirit has to rotate as well. I'll siege up in between the bases. Ah, yeah, we have plenty of tanks. Covering both entrances. Cure has to back off. Meanwhile, Spirit catching up with the Viking counts. Making 6 Vikings at a time. That's a lot of Vikings. Liberators have arrived. Speaking of, they're going to be sieging up. Catch a Viking. What a bad start for Cure. Remember, he has air control. So as I say that, Vikings are diving in. Oh, we go for the disables. Yeah, but too many Vikings. Cure is being forced back. Spirit, he has enough. Shuts down the lib. Ooh. And Spirit holds. Spirit, he barely holds on. The reinforcing Vikings were clutch. Spirit now getting into mass Liberator production. Let's go. And TvT initially is about Biotank, but now it's all about the air. It's about Vikings, about Liberators. Going for a massive Doom Drop into the main. And Spirit, he's out of position. He's racing back home. We can camp production and go for the starports. And tanks are sieging up. Vikings trying to push in. First tank goes down. Cure overextending a little bit, but does pull back. Does pull back in time. That's a kill on the CC. 16 workers. CC goes down. Eventually, Cure will lose everything here. He doesn't get any starports. Does go for the E-base, though. Bad. Even the fusion core as well. But Spirit's already got lib range. He's already got Liberator range. Doesn't matter too much as Cure, he's rallying here behind the army. Going for the third once again. Spirit out of position. Ay. Spirit, he's being dragged this way and that. He just cannot keep up. Liberators will help. But it's still bleeding out so many Marines, and we go for the stim. We go for the dive. We focus down the libs. But more do arrive. Spirit, he can clean this up. And rough loss there for Cure. But he gets 13 SCV. Oh no! We pull the boys! 23 SCVs go down. Ay. Spirit down to 43 workers. Barely a 2-base economy. He lost his main. He lost 24 workers. Does have backup orbitals. But more SCVs going down. Oh my god. 26. 28. Oh my god. Not quite 29. 28 SCVs go down. And Cure just doesn't stop the drop play. He just keeps going. The full medevac goes down. Big pickup. Tanks will attempt to siege up. But again, these Liberators, they do pose a massive threat here to Cure. Takes down a starport. Goes for the tanks. Brings down 2 of them. And again, not a bad trade. Bearing in mind that Cure is still just rallying. His production has been untouched this entire time. Rallying across the map. Killing another CC. And Cure, he's done it. He has brought himself back into this. Oh my god. Spirit had such a strong start to this game. But Cure, with the mass drop play, with the Doom Drops into the main as well. Getting out of hand, getting out of control, going for another CC. Yeah, we catch the Vikings. Base goes down. Again, barely a base mining here for Spirits. Liberator's wreaking havoc across the map, getting some damage done. Not bad. But Spirit, he's stuck on 2 bases. Just contained to his natural. Stimming in once again. And Curious going for the kill. Going for the final push. Takes down the tank, takes down the final lib. Up. And GG gets called. Cure has done it. Takes the series 3-1. And Cure will be this week's Kung Fu Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Cure. A wild game there against Spirit. He was in control. Spirit, he was up on bases, up on economy, up on tanks as well. But there were a couple of moments where Spirit overextended. Likewise, Cure was going for such drop-heavy styles and was able to catch Spirit out of position at multiple times there. Whether it was even catching Spirit as he moved out across the map, catching all of his tanks, going for the Doom drop into the main multiple times, the Doom drop into the main base. And Spirit just had a hard time keeping up with the drop play of Cure. And again, did overextend a couple of times himself as well, as Spirit was pushing out. And with that, GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure as he is our champion. My condolences to Spirit. He played well there. He played well, and even this game could have gone either way. Even this final game could have gone the way of Spirit, and we could have seen an ace match. Would not be, again, it was not out of the realm of possibility. But GG, well played. Congratulations. In the end, Cure does take it, and hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Again, KungFu Cup is a weekly open tournament. The best players in Korea and Europe come together here for KungFu Cup every single week. But every now and then, this event goes on a hiatus. What I mean by that, whenever there's DreamHack or a big event like Stars War 11, this event goes on a break. Speaking of, next week is such a case. What is happening next week? Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup is next weekend, so next week there is no KungFu Cup and there is no WTL because we don't want to clash with Home Story Cup. So that's the reason for that. That's why there's no KFC next week, but we got Home Story Cup instead. Just as a heads up, that's why next week is going to be a little bit lighter on content. We're going to be filling it with other events instead, so don't you worry. And look forward to Home Story Cup in the coming week. Otherwise, GG. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. The next event that's going to be on the channel is going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We're going to be casting the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League. Again, KSL is usually on Saturdays. Every 2 weeks, it's usually on a Saturday. But this last Saturday, we were a little bit busy. We were otherwise preoccupied. What were we doing? We were casting a 12-hour event. Someone mentioned it earlier, the House Galactic Battle. There was a LAN in Poland. It lasted 12 hours. it was like a 13-hour cast on Saturday. So we were busy covering the House of Galactic Battle, which is why we missed out on KSL. So we're catching up. Tomorrow we're catching up via replays with the Korean StarCraft League. Usually we cast it live, but again we've been just a little bit busy as of late. we can't cast everything live, unfortunately. I would love to. I need like multiple channels and multiple lights. But yeah, we're busy covering something else. So tomorrow is the KSL, and over the weekend, of course, is WTL and the SC2 Safe House. If you're curious, what is the SC2 Safe House? It's like the NA version of Home Story Cup. Kind of. So shout out to Zombie Grub. Zombie Grub has been organizing and is hosting an event called the SC2 Safe House. It's an event happening in Vegas, I believe. I believe they rented out a house in Vegas. And it's going to be Zombie Grub, it's going to be Fear Dragon, Zombie Grub, Fear Dragon, Chicken Man, and Steadfast, and Nathanius. So I believe those are going to be the 5 casters, and Zergo. Zergo's going to be there as well. They're all going to be at an event in Las Vegas, and they're going to be covering some StarCraft. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very wild, from my understanding. They're all going to be drinking. They're going to be playing party games. Like it's not going to be a serious event. Like they're going to get crazy, Papa. They're going to get wild. They're going to get rowdy. So look forward to it. And we're going to be casting. We're going to help out as well. Obviously, we won't be there. I'm here in Australia. It's like an 18-hour flight to the America. It's not happening. That's God no. But we are going to be the B stream. We're going to be the B stream for day number 1. So yeah, I'm going to be helping cover some of the SC2 Safe House. I might do something festive, you know, in theme with the event, because they're gonna get absolutely smashed, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we might do something as well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. It's quite late. What's the prize? For this event, 275 USD. 275 USD for our champion. For the SC2 safe house, I think it's a couple $1,000. I think it's, is it like 4,000 USD? Question mark. Let's have a look at the SC2 safe house. I know it's crowdfunded. There's a match arena. There's a match arena page for it. It's currently 2,000. Sorry. So it's currently 2K, 2,000 USD for the SC2 safe house. But there is a match arena page, so it can be crowdfunded and can be boosted as well. So do look forward to that. Do look forward to it. Interesting. I don't think I've seen disabling Vikings before. Yeah, it's a really creative way to make use of the Raven. Like if you're fighting for air control, like disabling your opponent's Ravens or disabling Vikings can work out quite well. Can be quite nice. Otherwise, GG, well played. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all had a great time here tonight. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We're going to be raiding one of the other streamers. Who can we raid? Who's live at the moment? Big Gabe is streaming. He's got plenty of viewers. Showtime is streaming. Middle VK. We might give some love to Showtime. Let's see. Who else is live? Milky Cow is streaming. Let's go. Didn't know Milky Cow streamed. But we might give it to Showtime. We'll figure it out. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for the support. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm starving. It's 2 a.m. in the morning here. Gonna go work on some VODs, edit some VODs, and all that good stuff. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We'll be back tomorrow with the Korean StarCraft League. Otherwise, thanks so much. See you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. See you next time.